And we actually have a caller who has their thoughts about the Russian Barbie because, yesterday we talked about Buzzfeed list of AI-generated Barbie dolls from every country. So let's go to the phone lines.
Hey, Amanda. My name's John. Just calling on behalf of the Russian Barbie. I think it's entirely appropriate for a Russian to have a firearm. We appreciate the stand your ground laws in the southern states. We like standing up for ourselves. Unfortunately, due to the situation in Ukraine on the southern border in Donbass, Russia felt it necessary to establish their territory. We counterattacked, almost took it back, and that's where we remain. The Russian Barbie's good, but if you're talking about a bindi on an Indian lady, you might want to consider what a bindi actually is in their language and then what it represents in their language rather than using a colloquial American term to describe Indian garb. And as far as Muslim men and women, well, the Muslim men control the women. They marry them away when they're 12. So you're going to ask a bunch of cultural questions and not be able to answer them. Have a great day.
Ooh, we have a white man listening that thinks he's smarter than me. So let's break it the F down.
Go ahead.
1, you're talking about Russia and standing ground, et cetera, and we're doing this and we're doing that. We're talking about Barbies. We're talking about Barbies. There shouldn't be guns in the hands of any Barbies. The same way that in this country, there needs to not be guns in the hands of many people. Why we would have guns in Barbie hands that are AI created is beyond my scope of comprehension. It's also wholly insensitive. And the Ukraine Barbie didn't have a gun in her hand. So what are we really talking about here? Ultimately, you need to back the F up. I'm going to back you up even more because now you're talking about bindis on Indian women. Do I know what a bindi stands for? Yes, I know what a bindi stands for. My issue with the video, with the image of the Indian woman was that she was wildly fair-skinned. And India already has a caste issue as well as a colorism issue. It was not an issue about a bindi. It was that they have a bindi on an Indian woman that looks like a white woman. The last issue that you pointed out, which was, what was it?
It was about the Muslim garb.
Oh, that the Muslim women were in men's garb. And then he says that, well, the men control the women in the Muslim countries and marry them off when they're 12. Well, we live in a nation where they are literally rolling back child labor laws, where you have every single day another example of a pedophile who is posing as some sort of child group leader, a pastor, a coach, etc. And we have a multitude of Republicans who this guy is absolutely voting for, who are literally out here saying, yes, if a 10-year-old is raped, she needs to have the baby.
Right.
So don't sit here and tell me about what Muslim people are doing with young children over there. And also, don't you ever come on my radio and try to encapsulate the entire following of a religious being, the entire of a religious practice with one aspect. No, all Muslim people do not marry off children when they're 12. And if you want to talk about the Taliban doing that, guess who armed the Taliban? America! America armed the Taliban and taught the Taliban how to fight Russia because they didn't want it to be their problem. So if you want to come on my radio and talk about me not knowing about cultural things that I'm talking about, let me set you the F straight. Don't you ever think you're going to come in here and correct me using white supremacist, white nationalist, American exceptionalist rhetoric. It's not going to go down.